Hello everyone, my name is Mohit and you are watching Cassandra series. In this video, we will see the Cassandra features. So first of all, let's start with the definition. What is Cassandra? Apache Cassandra is a highly scalable, highly performance, distributed non-SQL database. Cassandra is designed to handle a huge amount of data across many commodity servers, providing high availability without a single point of failure. So Cassandra has a distributed architecture which is capable to handle huge amount of data. Data is placed on the different machine with more than one replication factor to attain high availability without a single point of failure. So we can find we can deduce that Cassandra is a a distributed database. Okay, and the data is replicated among the all the nodes, means which are the nodes in the. So we can deduce that Cassandra is a distributed architecture database and the data is replicated across all the nodes. So Cassandra is a NoSQL database. NoSQL database is a non-relational database, or you can say not only SQL database. It is a database that provides a mechanism to store and retrieve data other than tabular relation used in the relation database. These databases are the schema-free, means NoSQL database are the schema-free, support easy replication, and have simple API, eventually consistent, and can handle huge amount of data. Cassandra is an Apache product, is an open source, distributed and decentralized distributed storage system. It is used to manage very large amount of structured data spread out across the world. So it provides highly availability with no single point of failure. So it is obvious that if data is spread across the different many nodes, so if one node goes down, then we have other nodes to take for the backup. Features of Cassandra. First is highly scalable, second rigid architecture, third fast linear scale performance, fourth fault tolerance. So first, highly scalability and fast linear scale performance are similar. Cassandra is highly scalable, which facilitate you to add more hardware to attach more customers and more data as per requirement. Means as you give the money, will get the more hardware, and more hardware means more scalability. And third point, see, I'm coming to the third point. See the third point. So let's see the features of Cassandra. Cassandra has highly scalability, rigid architecture, fast linear scale performance, fault tolerance. First is highly scalability. Cassandra is a highly scalable which facilitate you to add more hardware to attach more customer and more data as per requirement. Means if you have more customer, more money and more hardware, simply you can achieve the fast linear scale performance. Linear scale means more hardware, more performance in the linear way. So if you don't know the linear way, if you saw this is xy is xi as we increase the hardware, so this is hardware, x is hardware, we will get the more performance in the linear way. So it may not be start from the origin, so I'm starting from here somewhere. Okay, so more hardware, more scale performance, linear scale performance. It's a linear. Okay. Second is rigid architecture. Cassandra has has not a single point failure, and it is continuously available for business critical application that cannot afford a failure. Means if data is replicated on the multiple node, if single point, it means a single node goes down, the other nodes can take the place of that node. Fault tolerance. Cassandra is fault tolerance. Suppose there are four nodes. So it's just similar to rigid architecture, just explanation and the elaboration of rigid architecture, fault tolerance. Cassandra is a fault tolerance. Suppose there are four nodes in a cluster. Here, each node has a copy of same data. If one node is no longer serving, then other three node can serve as per the requirement, as per the request. Sorry. Flexible storage Flexible data storage, Cassandra supports the all possible data format like structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Is it facilitate you to make changes to your data structures according to your need. Easy data distribution. Data distribution in Cassandra is very easy because it provides the flexibility to distribute data where you need by replicating data across multiple data center. So easy distribution, flexible data storage. Last is transaction. Next is transition support. Cassandra support the property like atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. And one more, fast write. Cassandra was designed to run on cheap commodity hardware. It performs blazingly fast write and can store hundred of terabyte of data without sacrificing read efficiency. Cassandra architecture. Next up is Cassandra architecture. You can see the diagram. Cassandra was designed to handle big data workload across multiple nodes without a single point of failure, as we know. It has peer-to-peer distributed system. So this is a new term here, peer-to-peer. There's no server, there's no client, peer-to-peer. All nodes are same. So peer-to-peer protocol is used in the Cassandra. Peer-to-peer distribution system is used for the Cassandra. And the data is distributed among all the node in a cluster. Components of Cassandra. Components of Cassandra. The main component of Cassandra are first node. Cassandra node is a place where data is stored. So it's like a computer, it's a machine. Then data center. Data center is a collection of related nodes. So if multiple nodes in one data center. Then cluster. A cluster is a component which contain one or more data center. So first node, then data center, then cluster. Now the commit log. Commit log is not like the collection of cluster. It's not. In the Cassandra, commit log is a it means in the node we have Cassandra. In the Cassandra we have commit log. Commit log is a crash recovery mechanism. Every write operation is returned to the commit log. Then MAM table. MAM table is a memory resident data structure. After commit log, data will be returned to MAM table. Sometime for a single column family, there will be multiple MAM table. So MAM table is a part of RAM, random access memory. So first data is written on the MAM table. So fast write. So it's like a MAM cache, or you can consider like a Redis. Okay. Then SS table. It is a disk file, so it is a part of hard disk. Disk file to which data is flushed from MAM table when it content reach to a threshold value. Okay, when MAM table is full, or we can say it approaches to it uh, value of a threshold, then the content uh, is flushed and returned to the SS table. Bloom filter, these are nothing but quick non-deterministic algorithms for testing whether an element is a member of a set. It is a special kind of cache. Bloom filter are accessed after every query. So next is Cassandra query language. So Cassandra has a query language. Like in RDBMS, we have SQL query language. For the Cassandra, we have C, means C for Cassandra, C for you can say cow, C for cat. It's not S. So SQL query language is used to access Cassandra through its node. So it's a language. SQL treats the database key space means database as a key space as a container of table. So one key space holds the more lot of table or one table, more than one table. Programmers use SQL means as a shell, a prompt to work with SQL or separate application language driver. In the next video, we will see the SQL in detail, how we can start the SQL and how we can write the command on SQL. And we will do every stuff on the SQL like create table, insert the table because that is a basic type to interact with the Cassandra server. Okay. So write operation. Every write activity of a node is captured by the commit log written in the node. Later the data will be captured. Okay, consider this diagram. Let's see this diagram. First, every node activity on the node is captured by the commit log. So there's a commit log, there's a write operation. First, the commit log check. Okay, commit log is checking. Okay, write operation written is written on the commit log. Then uh, later the data will be captured and stored in the MEM table. So data in the MEM table. Whenever MEM table is full, so consider it reaches to its or approaches to its threshold value, the data will be written to SS table. Now finally to hard disk, permanent storage. All write are automatically partitioned and replicated throughout the cluster. Cassandra periodically consolidates the SS table, discarding unnecessary data. So simple strategy, first write the operation in the commit log, then the MEM table. When MEM table reaches to its capacity, then data MEM table flushed and data is written to the SS table. So question is, which companies are using, or you can say which company use Cassandra, which companies are using Cassandra? Walmart, Telnetica Software, AppScale, Cisco WebEx, and the CloudClick, CRN Altus Experiment, Constant Contact, and Dig. These are the company which are partially or for completely using the Cassandra. Facebook, IBM, there are more companies like Netflix, Inwords, FormSpring, Mahol.com, OpenWave, OpenX. There are so many companies currently are using the Cassandra, Plexo, PostRack, Rackspace, Reddit, Roku, SoundCloud, Twitter. So these are the companies which are using the Cassandra. So I hope you like this video and you get some significant information about the Cassandra. If you found this video very useful, please share this video and subscribe this channel and like the video. Thank you very much and thank you for watching this video.